In this video, we will examine the history of Greenland and notable events over the years that have set it apart from other U.S. overseas assets. Also, we will dive into the history between Greenland, which is an overseas county of Denmark, and why it preferred to maintain a relationship with the U.S. over Denmark. This includes allowing U.S. military bases on its territory and its role in protecting North America and NATO from Russian and Chinese aggression, an early warning system used to detect intercontinental ballistic missiles attacks. And lastly, we will review my 40-year connection and involvement in Greenland's history. The history of Greenland is a history of life under extreme Arctic conditions. Currently, an ice sheet covers about 80% of the island, restricting human activity largely to the coasts. The first humans are thought to have arrived in Greenland around 2500 BCE or before Common Era, aka BC or before Christ. Their descendants most likely died out and were replaced and succeeded by several other human groups migrating from continental North America since then. There has been no evidence discovered that Greenland was known to Norsemen until the 9th century CE or Common Era, aka AD or after death, when Norse Icelandic explorers settled on its southwestern coast. The ancestors of the Greenlandic Inuit who live there today appear to have migrated there later, around the year 1200, across the Narrie Strait from northern Canada. While the Inuit survived in the icy world of the Little Ice Age, the early Norse settlements along the southwestern coast disappeared, leaving the Inuit as the only inhabitants of the island for several centuries. During this time, Denmark-Norway, apparently believing the Norse settlements had survived, continued to claim sovereignty over the island despite the lack of any contact between the Norsemen, specifically Icelanders, installed in Greenland and their Scandinavian brethren. In 1721, aspiring to become a colonial power, Denmark-Norway sent a missionary expedition to Greenland with the stated aim of reinstating Christianity among descendants of the Norse Greenlanders who may have converted back to paganism. When the missionaries found no descendants of the Norse Greenlanders, they baptized the Inuit Greenlanders they found living there instead. Denmark-Norway then developed trading colonies along the coast and imposed a trade monopoly and other colonial privileges on the area. During World War II, when Nazi Germany invaded Denmark, Greenlanders became socially and economically less connected to Denmark and more, though informally, connected to the United States. It has never been a U.S. territory. After the war, Denmark resumed control of Greenland and in 1953 converted its status from colony to overseas county. Although Greenland is still a part of the Kingdom of Denmark, it has enjoyed home rule since 1979. In 1985, the island decided to leave the European Economic Community, EEC, which it had joined as a part of Denmark in 1973. The prehistory of Greenland is a story of repeated waves of Paleo-Inuit immigration from the islands north of the North American mainland. The population of those islands are thought to have descended, in turn, from inhabitants of Siberia who migrated into North America through Beringia, thousands of years ago. Because of Greenland's remoteness and climate, survival there was difficult. Over the course of centuries, one culture succeeded another as groups died out and were replaced by new immigrants. Archaeology can give only approximate dates for the cultures that flourished before the Norse exploration of Greenland in the 10th century. The earliest known cultures in Greenland are the Sakak culture, 2500 to 800 BCE, and the Independence culture in northern Greenland, 2400 to 1300 BCE. The practitioners of these two cultures are thought to have descended from separate groups that came to Greenland from North America, nearby Nunavut. Around 800 BCE, the so-called Independence II culture arose in the region where the Independence I culture had previously existed. It was originally thought that Independence II was succeeded by the early Dorset culture, 700 BC, Thi1, but some Independence II artifacts date from as recently as the 1st century BCE. Recent studies suggest that, in Greenland at least, the Dorset culture may be better understood as a continuation of Independence II culture. The two cultures have therefore been designated Greenlandic Dorset. Artifacts associated with early Dorset culture in Greenland have been found as far north as Inglefield Land on the west coast, and the Dove Bay area on the east coast. After the early Dorset culture disappeared by around CE1, Greenland was apparently uninhabited until late Dorset people settled on the Greenlandic side of the Nares Strait around 700 CE. The late Dorset culture in the north of Greenland lasted until about 1300. Meanwhile, the Norse arrived and settled in the southern part of the island in 980. Norse settlement Europeans probably became aware of Greenland's existence in the late 9th century, after Gunnbjorn Ulfsson, while sailing from Norway to Iceland, was blown off course by a storm and sighted some islands off Greenland. During the 980s, explorers led by Eric the Red set out from Iceland and reached the southwest coast of Greenland. Eric named the island Greenland. U.S. military involvement in Greenland began during World War II and evolved into a critical strategic component of Cold War defense. World War II era, 1940 to 1945, 1940. Following the Nazi invasion of Denmark, the U.S. established the American Greenland Commission to manage Greenland's security and economy. 1941. The Defense of Greenland Agreement was signed on April 9, 1941, granting the U.S. rights to build military facilities. 1941 to 1945, extensive construction began, including the establishment of Narsarsuaq Air Base, Bluey West 1, and Kangerlussuaq Air Base, Bluey West 8, alongside weather and radio stations. Early Cold War expansion, 1946 to 1959, 1946. The U.S. offered to buy Greenland for $100 million, but Denmark rejected the offer. 1951. A new U.S.-Denmark defense agreement was signed, formally establishing defense areas for NATO use. 1951 to 1953. Thule Air Base, now Patuxent, was built under the secret code name Operation Blue Jay. Its construction involved the forced relocation of the local Inuit population to Continental. 1954 to 1957. Construction of the Distant Early Warning (DW) line took place, featuring 63 radar stations across the Arctic to detect Soviet bombers. 1958 to 1965. The U.S. secretly deployed nuclear bombs and air defense weapons in Greenland. The secret base and late Cold War, 1959, 1990s, 1959 to 1967. Camp Century, a nuclear-powered base under the ice sheet, was established. It housed the top-secret Project Iceworm, a plan for a network of nuclear missile silos. 1961. A ballistic missile early warning system, MUSE, was completed at Thule to monitor intercontinental ballistic missile, ICBM, launches. 1992 to 1993. Most secondary bases in the DW line were closed or transferred to Danish/Greenlandic control as strategic priorities shifted. Modern status, 2000 to 2025, 2004. The Igaliku Agreement designated Thule Air Base as the sole remaining U.S. defense area in Greenland. 2020. Control of Thule was transferred from the U.S. Air Force to the newly formed U.S. Space Force. 2023. On April 6th, Thule Air Base was officially renamed Patuxent Space Base to honor Greenlandic heritage and reflect its modern mission in space domain awareness. 2025. Patuxent remains the only active U.S. base, focused on missile warning and satellite tracking. Renewed U.S. political interest in the island's strategic value and resources continues. Why is Greenland strategically important for the U.S.? Greenland is strategically important for the U.S. due to its geographic location on key Arctic and North Atlantic routes. Its critical role in homeland defense and space domain awareness, and access to significant natural resources in an era of great power competition with Russia and China. Geopolitical and military importance. Homeland defense. Greenland sits along the shortest flight paths between North America and Russia, making it a critical location for detecting potential threats. Patuxent Space Base, formerly Thule Air Base, hosts an upgraded early warning radar (UEWR) system, a vital part of North American defense that tracks intercontinental ballistic missiles (ICBMs) and performs space surveillance. GIUK Gap Choke Point. Greenland anchors one side of the Greenland-Iceland United Kingdom (GIUK) Gap, a critical maritime corridor that NATO uses to monitor Russian naval and submarine movements from the Arctic into the North Atlantic. Arctic competition. With Russia increasing its military presence in the Arctic and China declaring itself a near-Arctic state, with an interest in infrastructure and resources, the U.S. and its NATO allies view a strong presence in Greenland as essential to counter rival influence and secure the region. NATO alliance. As an autonomous territory within the Kingdom of Denmark, a NATO member, Greenland is a key part of the alliance's collective defense, and cooperation with Denmark helps solidify the U.S. position in the region. Economic and climate change factors. Natural resources. Greenland has large, untapped deposits of critical and rare earth minerals essential for electric vehicles, smartphones, wind turbines, and advanced military equipment. U.S. interest in these resources aims to reduce dependence on Chinese-dominated supply chains. New shipping routes. The melting of Arctic sea ice is opening potential new trans-Arctic shipping routes, the Northwest Passage and Transpolar Sea Route, that could significantly reduce travel times between major global ports. Greenland is strategically located along these potential routes, positioning it to become a key player in future global trade and maritime management. Scientific research. The island is a focal point for climate change research, as its melting ice sheet is one of the largest contributors to global sea level rise. The U.S. military bases also host multinational scientific research efforts. What's the current U.S. military focus in Greenland? The United States currently operates one active military air base in Greenland, the Patuxent Space Base, formerly Thule Air Base. Location: northwestern coast of Greenland. Status: the Department of Defense's northernmost installation and the only active U.S. base in Greenland. It was formally transferred to the U.S. Space Force in 2020 and renamed in 2023 to reflect its mission in space domain awareness and honor local heritage. Mission: supports missile warning, missile defense, and space surveillance missions via a powerful phased array radar, a critical component of North American defense. Operations: the airfield is operational year-round and handles numerous international and U.S. flights. Several other bases and airfields were established during World War II and the Cold War, but have since been closed or converted to civilian use. Former U.S. air bases: Narsarsuaq Air Base, Louis West. 1. Location: near the southern tip of Greenland. Status: established during World War II, it was a major hub for the U.S. Army Air Force's Greenland Base Command. It was closed as a U.S. military base in 1958 and is now Narsarsuaq Airport Kangerlussuaq Air Base, Louis West. 8. Later Sonderstrom Air Base. Location: central Greenland. Status: also established during World War II. This base was a key supply point for radar sites along the Distant Early Warning (DW) line during the Cold War. It was turned over to the Greenland government and closed in 1992, becoming Kangerlussuaq Airport, Greenland's only inland town. Other installations: the U.S. also built or used numerous other smaller weather stations, radio stations, and temporary camps, such as Camp Century, an under-ice base for research and secret missile projects, and the various sites of the DW line. These have all been decommissioned or abandoned. I've spent many days and nights at Thule and Sonderstrom over the years, 1987 to 2010. It was a wild place to get used to, with total daylight in the summer months and total darkness and extreme cold in the winter time. Thule was called the top of the world due to its location within the Arctic Circle. and it is the best place to see and experience the aurora borealis or northern lights. In 1976, August 28th, we lost a C-141B Starlifter at Sandreström, killing 7 crew and 16 passengers. A navigator and 3 passengers survived. 1992, I was on a mission to Greenland, and we transported parts of AP-38 from the lost squadron that was removed from a 40-year, 260-foot icy tomb. As of 2025, the U.S. maintains only one active base on the island, which was recently renamed to reflect its modern role.
I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and hit that notification icon for the latest videos as they are released. Thanks for watching and catch you in the next one. Ciao for now.